I've had the opportunity in my life to literally work with thousands of students and hundreds of parents during my 30-year career as an educator and an additional 6 years of working in churches with both student and children's ministry. I've spoken at conferences, parenting workshops, and I've counseled countless parents who were struggling in some area of parenting. God created the family. It is an incredible gift. He created men and women and the institution of marriage. He implored Adam and Eve to populate the earth. The family even made the 10 commandments with the 5th commandment that says, honor your father and your mother. Since the beginning of time, Satan has worked tirelessly to destroy marriages and the family. It is one of his most important schemes. He knows that if a marriage is destroyed, the carnage that comes with it will help destroy the children. If the marriage unit and the family unit is destroyed, then there's a good chance that the dad, the mom, the kids, or maybe all of them will question God, or worse, walk away from their faith completely. So, how can parents safeguard their families? How can parents ensure that their children understand their true identity in Christ Jesus and nothing else? Well, this week we have been discussing how to have a home reset. You know, every once in a while we need to step back and evaluate things to make sure we are focused on the best things. Notice I said best and not right. Sometimes it's not about something in life being right or wrong, but it is simply about what is best. We may have to say no to some things so that we are available to say yes to something better. Titus 2:15 says, declare these things, exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no one disregard you. So, what are we to declare? Well, let's look at the previous verses. Backing up to verse 11, it says, for the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age. What a great thing for parents to focus on with their children. Renounce ungodliness and worldly passions. Live self-controlled lives. Sounds great. The challenge is that in order to do that, the parents must live that way first. The Apostle Paul teaches us in 2 Timothy 4:2 to preach the word, be ready in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, and exhort with complete patience and teaching. Then verse 3 and 4 tells us why this is so important. Listen carefully to these verses and think about the world we are currently living in. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but have itching ears. They will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. Parents, you are and will always be your child's first and most important teacher. Parents regularly feel ill-prepared to teach their children, whether it's math or the Bible. But think about these verses we just read. The Titus verse simply said to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self-controlled lives. You don't need a theology degree to accomplish that. Then the 2 Timothy verse told us to be ready at all times, to reprove, rebuke, or exhort with complete patience and teaching. The patience part can sometimes be difficult, but when parents can do this with their children, it will provide their children with the foundation that will hopefully prevent them from finding a teacher later that suits their itching ears and will allow them to pursue their own passions. As parents, we can have a home reset by living a life that offers our children an example of how to live godly lives. The task is easy to understand, but challenging to accomplish because we need to be disciplined in our own lives in order to be successful. If you're really not too sure how to do that, I would really encourage you to reach out to me or your campus pastor. We would love to talk with you about how you can live a godly life that will serve as a great example to your children.